Hey, Crystal Maiden here, and today I'm going to be showing off the multiplayer of Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. This is easily the best multiplayer that all of the Sonic games have had. And there's plenty of reasons for that. One is that because there's alternate gameplay styles, there's multiple different modes that you can have. And the game doesn't have to stretch in desperation to try to make there be more multiplayer modes like Sonic Heroes does, where it's basically the exact same thing, only with slight variations. Each multiplayer mode, there's the Sonic gameplay, there's the treasure hunting gameplay, and there's the mech levels. And there's also go-kart racing and shadow racing karate. I'm not sure why people would want to do that. But each mode has 2 extra characters. Amy is kind of disappointing in that she doesn't have a spin dash, so you can't really speed up to roll through loops and stuff really quickly. But the thing is, she's pretty broken in multiplayer in spite of that, because she gets the special moves a lot faster than any other character. By getting enough rings, you can obtain a special move in the multiplayer, and you can use those to inconvenience your opponent. For the Sonic gameplay, you can either speed up, you can do this, where you freeze your opponent in time for a little while, or you can attack them from a distance. She never really shows this ability again. I don't know if it's actually canon or whatever. Another thing is, she's sort of a Sonic clone. Like, she's a lot better in this game than she was in SA1.
Let me show you my
Oh yeah, that's what happens if you choose yes for continue, rather than continuing on to the level after that, which is stupid. So you've got to exit out to the menu every single time, unless you choose best 2 out of 3. I know for a fact that Shadow's Chaos Sphere is canon's main series, though, because it shows up in other games like 06, for example. But yeah, basically every character in each multiplayer mode has the exact same special abilities between them, only with aesthetic changes. Like, they'll basically do the same thing. And the levels in the multiplayer are shortened. Like, as you can see, City Escape ended a lot quicker. Which kind of makes me wish that that's how the single player levels were like. Because sometimes the levels can drag out too long. And you unlock level 4 stages in multiplayer by doing certain things, like progressing after the single player. Which is stupid, everything should be unlocked from the very beginning, but I mean, how many people want to play this level in multiplayer anyways? I showed off Metal Sonic and SA2 in my SADX Let's Play. The thing that's different about him here is that instead of having, like, not only does Metal Sonic have a somersault, but he has a black shield, which makes him completely immune to any special move attacks that you try to use on him. Which is cool and all, but it'd be much better if he had the spin dash, because if he had the spin dash, he'd be able to roll through loops and slopes and move really quickly. Tikal doesn't have a green level to her radar. So, not only does she have a really short range punch attack, so she's kind of useless for attacking. Although, you're not going to be attacking your opponent directly very often, because they're generally not going to be close to you very much. But Tikal is a pretty bad character to use in the multiplayer, which is pretty disappointing, along with the fact that Metal Sonic has no special moves at all. And Chaos can't drown. Like, no matter how long you have him under the water, he'll never drown. But that's only useful in this area and in Dry Lagoon. And the thing about Chaos is also that he's pretty slow, but he has a large punch attack. Oh god. I hate this level from the sheer fact that you're snowboarding down a snowy road, and so you always have the characters making these loud sounds with their snowboard, and it's really ear-grating. I don't know what they were thinking. Every multiplayer mode has 2 mini-levels. Like, with the Sonic stages, there's one for snowboarding and there's one for grinding.
I'm getting excited.
And, well, they're a nice little distraction, I guess. Most people that I've seen play the multiplayer prefer to play the actual levels instead. And something that I did here was that I made it so that I was holding down the acceleration button non-stop the entire grind race. I never let go of it. And as you can see, I never fell once. Like, he kept falling over, but he never actually fell from it. So I don't know why people make such a big deal out of the fact that you have to balance on the grind rails, because you can keep on holding down the acceleration button non-stop and you never... And the thing is, even though this is testing your grinding skills, you never have to do rail switching at any point. Which is good because it's kind of nerve-wracking doing that because you do it so little. But it just really goes to demonstrate how little you have to actually rail switch in this game. In the game that introduced rail grinding. Nowadays, grinding is so automated. You never have any balancing or acceleration button. Now, grinding is all about the rail switching. So it's weird that in its introductory game, you never rail switch at all. Yeah, a weird thing about this level, personal experience I had, if you spend too long on the pedestals of the statues, the game will freeze.
You're not as strong.
So that's something that I had the misfortune of finding out. It's kind of weird that Amy is standing there crying, but her eyes are open.
Stage select.
Planet Quest is basically Mad Space, but it's confined to the yellow planetoid. Why anyone would want to play Death Chamber and Mad Space in multiplayer is beyond me. Security Hall is vastly improved in the multiplayer because all of the vaults are unlocked from the very beginning. And you don't have a time limit, you don't have to go to a stupid vault room to unlock all of them. And I had a lot of memories here as a kid because I would play a game where I would use both controllers and I would have one character standing in a vault and I would dig up every single vault, unlock all the vaults, and I would bring all of the skulls and boxes to that one vault with the other character in it. Because if you keep that other character, if you keep the boxes and stuff in front of that other character, then they won't disappear from the game if you walk away from them. Depending on which level you are in a treasure hunting stage, you'll have to collect a different amount of Chaos Emeralds to win. Like at level 1, you only have to collect 1 Chaos Emerald to win. Or Emerald Piece, I guess. And once again, I'm going to be dedicating the entirety of this to showing off how bad the controls are in the planetoid. Like, I'm just holding down and nothing else. I love the dialogue between Knuckles and Rouge when they're conversing with each other when you start a match. Like, I love how each character has their own dialogue that they start out with. But anyways, with the treasure hunting levels, you got 3 special moves. You got a move that trips up your opponent and makes them stumble trying to get up for a couple seconds. You got a move that hurts them, and you got a move that screws up the controls and makes them spinning around constantly for a little while. I feel like the special moves, they're a good addition to the multiplayer because they make it a little more fun, and they make getting a whole bunch of rings really rewarding and satisfying. Like, you really want to get those ring boxes. A strategy that a lot of people employ in the multiplayer is that when their opponent hits a checkpoint ahead of them, they'll intentionally die, because then they'll respawn at the checkpoint that their opponent hit. Which I guess is kind of cheating, but not well. The Dreamcast version of this game actually had Big the Cat in a mech as DLC, which was kind of weird, but it's still annoying that they didn't include that in Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. They also had DLC costumes for the other characters in the multiplayer, like a Halloween themed costume and a Christmas costume. I always love the exchange between Eggman and Tails when you pair them up against each other. It's disappointing that those didn't get put into SC2 Battle. It really goes to show you how much little effort went into SC2 Battle as opposed to Sonic Adventure DX. The mech level multiplayer is basically a battle mode. But it's not nearly as annoying and luck-based as the mech battles in the actual single player because of the addition of special moves. there's 3 special moves that you get. And 2 of them home into your opponent no matter what. I don't really see much of a difference between the rocket launcher thing and the homing fireballs attack. They both seem the same to me. I guess they deal more damage. The one you really want to look out for is the super power laser attack, because that one deals a lot of damage and it's practically a guaranteed insta kill, because you can get trapped in it and then you get hit before you can get out of it again. I like the fact that when you use it, you're forced to stay still and facing one direction, because it helps balance it. Because it makes it easier for you. Huh, they said Hell Bomber. The word hell in a Sonic game. And people say that Shadow the Hedgehog started that off. You can actually aim the power laser and make it move around. And that's not just with the Dark Beam, that's also with the regular power laser. Dark Chow is more powerful. Like, I think his attacks deal more damage, but he's slow. I'm not really sure about the properties of the other mech characters in multiplayer though. But just weird that, like, a lot of people hated Big the Cat for good reason, but they still shouldn't have excluded him from the multiplayer. Like, I don't like the fact that the Dreamcast kept some of its content. But yeah, these are the mini levels of the mech multiplayer. Like, basically, it's a very short race to the finish. This one is based off Hidden Base, and obviously it's pretty annoying because, like, this is literally what you're doing the entire time. And it's so annoying how you can't just destroy them with one shot. Oh no. You have to shoot them multiple times. And it's just so padded out. And how are you supposed to know that that black block is there? You pretty much have to memorize level design if you want to beat it quickly. So it's a good thing that you're not forced to beat it really quickly to get an emblem or anything. Obviously, I was not playing this with a second player. I was using 2 controllers at once, mainly focusing on one character. But there you go, that's multiplayer. And again, it's easily the most fun multiplayer in all of the Sonic franchise because there's so many different characters and such diverse modes that are all fun in their own way. And you've got the special moves to really reward getting rings. It's just a really fun multiplayer to play around with. And not to mention that the levels are shortened and simplified, so even in levels that you might not like Security Hall is much better, for example. See you in the next part.